you on a tour of the high school construction project progress to date. It's been over 2.5 years that Mrs. Collyer and I have been involved in this project, with about a year or so of actual construction. A lot of that work has been done inside the school, and many of you have already seen the fruits of that labor. Davis Gym completely refurbished and renovated, the cafeteria completely refurbished and renovated. Behind us is a new Performing Arts Center, and underneath, an area you can't really see yet, is a new locker room and rear entrance to the school, as well as a new Forecourt Gym, which we'll get to in just a little bit. Also behind us is a new student entrance and a new public entrance. We'll show you finally the location of that public entrance. Will be off Delahanty Drive.
So we're going to head around back first, and we'll enter in through the multi-purpose room.
Okay, so behind Mrs. Collyer and me right now is soon to be the back steps into the rear of the high school, and visitors coming in would go to the right to go into the Forecourt Gym. To the left would be the multi-purpose room, and directly behind us is a large window space, frosted glass in there, and the multi-purpose room will be used for a variety of purposes.
Our ROTC drill team, the band and chorus color guard will use that space, some PE classes during the day, so it will be open for a lot of different uses.
Right, and the winter percussion group has used the cafeteria for some of their drills, and this is space that we hope that group can also take advantage of. It's certainly large enough for all of those purposes that Mrs. Collyer just mentioned.
This back entrance will also be able to access the Performing Arts Center, so it will be nice to be able to have all the public spaces for the weekend in one area of the building. Unlike now, if you're using the Forecourt Gym, you need to walk through the school to access that area. So this will be nice for the weekends and the evening uses.
Yeah, exactly. You can walk in this rear entrance and up a fairly large stairwell and be on the main level with a short corridor and then a left turn to get into the new auditorium. So it'll be nice for students who have classes or programs that they have to get to.
The other thing is, to the right of us are the new locker rooms being built. We'll have locker rooms, team rooms, space for coaches, space for officials.
And the athletic trainer.
Yes, and Mr. Cox has a new space down here, a larger space with an office so he can meet with students privately who are rehabbing or possibly parents. He'll also have classroom space down here for his first aid class.
Mrs. Collyer and I have been asked many times why we're increasing the size of the high school when our enrollments have diminished. We just want to remind folks that one purpose for this project was to create public use space. The Forecourt Gym is one of those spaces that's used extensively by youth leagues as well as adult league, basketball, indoor softball, and little league and soccer practice when the conditions don't allow the kids to be outside. We're also providing available space in the multi-purpose room that could also be used by the public. And this rear entrance is going to be the main way into the Forecourt Gym. Unlike the current Forecourt Gym, that's not only seriously compromised physically, but is only accessible by entering through the hallway of the high school. This way, the Forecourt Gym can be accessed directly from this rear door.
Okay, so right now we are walking up the ramp to the Orchestra Pit in the Seifert Center for Performing Arts, and we're very fortunate. Not many high schools have an orchestra pit, so we're lucky to be able to offer this to our students and the community. Last week, Marty Clausen, our band director, was in here, and he was quite excited with the progress in this area.
As Mrs. Collyer mentioned, not many schools have a facility like the Orchestra Pit, and we're hoping that we can attract some performing groups that will bring some stage productions here that the whole community can enjoy, something that not all communities can take advantage of. So it's a feature that was intentional and not only benefiting our students, as Mrs. Collyer mentioned, and hopefully our own orchestra someday, but inviting some visiting organizations performing musicals for the entire community's enjoyment. So as Mrs. Collyer mentioned, we're just below the floor of the auditorium, Cypher Auditorium, and just underneath the performance stage. It's coming along very, very nicely, and we're excited about this particular facility.
All right, so this is the way you access the Forecourt Gym. You come in from the back and take a right. We have some storage down here, which is nice.
It's much needed storage, by the way. It's not something that we had in the current facility at all. But once this opens up, we're going to have plenty of storage. And that Forecourt Gym that Tracy mentioned is really going to be a spectacular facility for the community.
So let's go into the gym now. Okay, so we're in the Forecourt Gym. 2 of these courts will be ready for use for PE classes in the public. In August, 2 courts will be used for classroom space, but you notice it's nice and bright in here, similar to the Davis Gym. And what's nice is we have curtains dividing the space, so if we have 2 basketball teams playing at the same time, there'll be some separation. Balls won't be going in the courts.
I just want to point out too something that we learned recently, and that is that the current Forecourt Gym from end line to end line is similarly sized to a middle school basketball court, and these courts are regulation high school length, and so the current Forecourt Gym, if you just consider the floor itself without the locker rooms, would fit inside this space. So it's going to be a large space, and we think the community is really going to enjoy having it available. And again, as Tracy pointed out, 2 of the regulation courts will be used for a classroom swing space for another 2 years till the project is completed. But once it is and the full facility opens, it's really going to be a wonderful space available to not only youth of the community, but adults as well.
You notice the wall behind us on the other side of the classrooms, and those will also be ready for August. Teachers will be ready to move in there.
Okay, so Mrs. Collyer and I are coming from the corridor that runs parallel to the Forecourt Gym, which is the way students will be accessing these temporary classrooms that Mrs. Collyer mentioned just a few moments ago when we were standing in the Forecourt Gym. This space will eventually be 2 additional basketball courts.
So we took some teachers back here last week on tours, because when you say temporary space, they're not quite sure what they're getting, but when they came back, they realized they'll have 4 walls, they'll have drop ceilings, interactive projectors, they'll have everything they need out here just as they would inside. And the classes out here for next year will be 3 of our comprehensive American Studies classes. Those are junior level classes. 1 will be office space for special education case managers, 2 art classrooms, and an additional humanities classroom. Also, there's additional storage for athletics in this area. Just for the next couple of years, it will have to be accessed before and after school, because it is through a classroom.
So as Mrs. Collyer pointed out, these are regulation classrooms. You can see the steel studs. The classrooms will be insulated. There will be dropped ceilings, so they will, for all intents and purposes, look like and feel like regular classroom spaces. And there was a full floor-to-ceiling wall that was constructed to separate one of the gym floors from the classroom, so there won't be the distraction or interruption that can sometimes be presented by physical education space or physical education activity going on adjacent to a classroom. Very well constructed, and will serve as, I think, very effective swing classroom space. We've been asked why we need this space, and for those that are familiar with the classroom space below the Forecourt Gym, once that facility is demolished, all the classroom spaces underneath will also be gone, and with the space gone, we need to provide classroom space for the next couple of years.
In addition to the rooms under the Forecourt Gym, at the end of the school year, Harvey Construction will take over the front of the school to build our new main entrance, and in that area there are quite a few classrooms and the library space, so we need to move those rooms as well.
Okay, so we're leaving the area that will be serving as temporary classrooms, and we're turning right, coming from the long hallway and up this main stairwell that will be the access stairwell to these classrooms for most students that have to come in and out of there throughout the day. And we're getting to the main level hallway, which will take students and the public, for that matter, all the way to the other end of this hallway, which will be the main level, and will access not only the elevators but the stage area as well, and then the main entrance to the high school. Our fitness room,
our athletic trainer will be back here. So as we walk down the hallway here, on the left we have a conference room for our athletic department. We have office space for our athletic director and his secretary. They also have a nice view from their offices into the Forecourt Gym. Right now they see mechanical systems for the temporary classrooms, but in the future they'll be able to look into the gym from their offices.
Right, so we're walking just above that first floor hallway. To the left of us is the wall for the Forecourt Gym, and to the right here will be an access hallway that to orient you viewing, it will access the hallway that will extend into the main school. On the left will be the Davis Gym, and on the right will be the cafeteria.
And just in this doorway, down at the lower level, this used to be the college entrance to the high school.
Right, for those that are familiar with that rear entrance to the school, again, between the Davis Gym and the cafeteria. And then here on the right is our will be the entrance to our fitness room, and we'll show that in just a moment.
Okay, we're now in the fitness room, and this will be used for some PE classes, strength and fitness, but also for our athletes. Pre-season, during the season, we'll have new machines in here for kids to work out on.
And for anybody that was familiar with our existing fitness room, you know that this is light years ahead of what we had with mismatched weights and a windowless space where kids had really some significant challenges even accessing the space. And to orient folks a little bit, to our right, just on the other side of this wall, is the Davis Gym, and just in front of us, behind the wall that's in front of us, will be storage for the Davis Gym. And then just on the other side of the storage room is the new elevators for the main part of the high school that will actually go 3 levels. There'll be a lower level, this main level, and then 1 floor above us, accessed by those elevators.
And this space used to be the girls' locker room, just by the cafeteria.
Exactly. For people that were familiar with the former space, that's exactly where we're standing right now, and it doesn't seem possible that this is going to be finished fitness space by September, but at least by September 1st, the space will be available for fitness. Okay, we're stepping into or onto the Seifert Auditorium stage area. So to our left is the MIDI lab, as well as some uniform storage. There's a chorus room, the band space, and just below us is the Orchestra Pit that we were in just a short while ago.
Just backstage, we have, as you said, the scene shop. We have dressing rooms with video feedback there, some restrooms, some costume storage. And if you look out into the auditorium, the seating, up above, there's a space for a new media booth and office space for our new Director of Performing Arts, Jared Cassidy, who is now on board with us. So the seating in here, we have fewer seats than we did in the old Seifert Auditorium. We're at 700 703 opposed to 750, but there'll be nice, comfortable seats for anyone here seeing a performance.
Yeah, those seats are actually a little bit wider because people have grown bigger over the past many years. You'd also note perhaps that the height of the auditorium is much higher than the former auditorium, because we're actually going to have fly space for scenery. Scenery can be lifted and lowered for the different productions that we have.
And a nice safe catwalk for our students who are up there helping with lighting for a show.
Yes, as opposed to the catwalk that some of our students have been familiar with. But it really is going to be a beautiful auditorium space, and we're anxious for everyone to see it once it's finished, and the space will be available for the public. We'll have an open house sometime in early December. It'll all be ready for us then.
As you enter the building from the back by the field, this is the second floor, our auditorium on the right. The stairs will lead you up to the second floor. Entrances to the Davis Gym are over to my left, and the elevator that we mentioned previously is also to my left.
And just to orient people that are familiar with the way the high school was constructed, up this stairwell is what was the second floor of Salem High School, and over my right shoulder on that floor is where a dean's office had been. That dean's office was demolished, and just behind the concrete wall that's over my right shoulder is the hallway that goes to the humanities classroom.
Yeah, ROTC.
And ROTC is also there, just to give people that orientation. So as Mrs. Collyer pointed out, people coming down this stairwell will walk this hallway, go down a second stairwell to that rear entrance that we showed a little bit earlier. The auditorium will be on our right, and we're going to show you in a minute where the new student entrance is going to be, and how students would then access this hallway from that new entrance.
All right, so we are in the new student entrance, and behind us are two entrances to the Davis Gym and one of the hallways.
That's right. So those that are oriented will remember that students and the public came in this entrance. It's quite a bit larger, and certainly the dimensions have changed considerably, but this still is and will be an entrance that people would be familiar with, except it will look brand new, all new construction really. To our left is will be public restrooms, as well as a concession stand and a ticket office or ticket booth, and to our right will be a hallway that goes to the art wing when it's finished.
So the buses will drop off here in the morning, the students, just as they do now. We also have some storage, and if you remember when you walked into the Seifert Auditorium, if you were on stage giving a performance, the light from the hallway would come in. There was no vestibule area. We do have that here, so if you're on stage and someone's entering the theater, you won't be distracted by the light or the noise as they enter.
Yeah, it's really going to be, the Performing Arts Center is going to be a first-class facility, and this entrance is going to be something that the kids will really be proud to walk into. Something very different than what was here with the old paneling and the old tiled walls, the ceramic tile floor, and the modern wall finishings, as well as new lighting and ceiling, will really change how people see the entrance to the school.
Well, we're leaving the library right now, but soon enough in December, this will be the main entrance to the high school, actually on Delahanty.
And just want to remind people who may not be familiar, the library was added to the high school a few years after the original school was finished, So the high school has a Delahanty Drive address, but the main entrance is around to the side. So it's been very confusing for years for people that are unfamiliar with the high school itself. This seems to be the main entrance to the school, and with the help of Mr. Conti here of Harvey Construction, the gentleman who's actually building this project, overseeing the entire project, and is a Salem High School graduate, by the way. So it should bring some sense of confidence that a Salem High graduate, someone born and raised in Salem, is actually overseeing this entire project. We're very satisfied by that, and we feel confident that it's all being done right. But this space behind us is going to be demolished sometime in mid-June, and the brand new Delahanty Drive side entrance will be ready for
in December.
Public entrance in December. So we're probably mid-December, would you say?
Mid-December, yeah.
Mid-December. So this area in front of us, the grassy area, will be excavated, and there'll be new parking, but there'll be rules about entrances, pick up and drop off, and that information is on our website. But we're really excited about what will be a very beautiful main entrance to the high school.
Actually, also, as you enter, the main office will be on the left, special education on the right, and you go up a rather grand staircase. When you walk in, the library will be on the second floor overlooking Delahanty, and the school counseling, the guidance office will be on the opposite side overlooking the courtyard. But what's neat about this is on the first floor behind the staircase, there's an extension of the library. There's some space for students to sit and work in small groups or meet before school, after school, and so it's going to be beautiful inside.
Yeah, it really is going to be a special space, and we're going to owe all of it to Bill and his crew.
Yeah, the
getting this work
communication's
done.
been great with Bill and Harvey. It's many times throughout the day they inform me of what's happening in the school. They want the staff and the students to feel comfortable and know what's going on. So it's nice to get those heads up, and I've had my own education in terms of construction. I've learned a lot from Bill. He's always ready to answer any questions I have, so I know we appreciate all they've done.
So a little more than a year into the construction, you can see how much has been accomplished. We'll certainly provide an update for you, perhaps in another year, another video update, or perhaps sooner. But we want to thank everyone for viewing this video, just to give you an opportunity to see what's going on inside the project. We're certainly excited about the opportunity it presents to our students and staff, as well as to the community, and we hope that you're as excited as we are.